everybody. I thought I'd take a few minutes and do a quick tutorial on Google Jamboard for those of you who are interested in using it. So Google Jamboard is a collaborative digital whiteboard that is free with the Google Suite. So there's two ways you can access it. It's on your class link, so you can click here and open it up, or you can go up to the waffle and it's also on there. Click on it and it opens up. When you open it up, there's going to be a plus sign in the bottom right-hand corner. You want to click on that, and that will bring you to a blank Jamboard. For this tutorial, I'm just going to do a basic navigation tutorial, so you'll know how to actually work the Jamboard and all of its components, and then I'll do a follow-up tutorial showing you what this would look like in various content areas. So I'll just start at the top, go through all the components, and we'll go from there. So up here, obviously, you would name it just like you would any other Google document, whether it's a Google Doc or a Google Slide or Google Drawing. This is the home button, so if you click on there, it'll take you home. Over here is the slide view, so you can see all of your slides. It expands, so you can see them in a larger format. So you can also add slides. So here for this particular Jamboard, I only have one slide. If you click the plus sign, you can add and you can keep adding slides. Another cool thing that you can do is if you go to the three dots, you can duplicate a slide that you already have. So if you were shooting this out to students, you could duplicate a slide for each student and shoot it out to them or student groups. You can also then close that out. While you're in there, you can also delete. Sorry, I forgot to mention that you can delete a slide if you'd like to. So that's just the basic overview of the slides. So let me go over the other components. You have a back arrow, so you can undo or redo anything. You have zoom. You can zoom in by percentage, or you can just do zoom in and zoom out. The next part that's pretty cool is the background. You can change the background of your slide. You can have a different background for each slide. So your options are, you can see that there's dots. You have two sets, you have a line for writing, a lined paper. You can see that there's two different graphs, and then you can choose the color blue or black. The next item on the top is a clear frame. So if you have a bunch of items on, or even one item on your screen, on your slide, you can just click clear frame, it'll make it all disappear. So on the left-hand side, you will see that these are your tools. So let me go through the tools. The first tool is the pen. You just click on the pen and you can see you have choices. You have a pen, you have a marker, a highlighter, and then you have a paintbrush, and you have 6 colors. I'm not going to lie, it's a little awkward writing on it at first. You do get used to it. You get better with practice. You can also use your touch screen. So I'm doing this with my finger. And you can also use, if you have a pen that works on your trackpad, you can also write on your trackpad. So as I said before, I can clear frame up here, but I also can go to the next item on the toolbar, and that's the eraser. And I can erase it that way, or I go back up to clear frame and it makes it all disappear. The next item in the toolbar is the select arrow. So you can use that. You can use it for selecting and pointing. Underneath that is a very important item, and that is a sticky note. And you can use it in a variety of ways, and we'll talk about that in the next video, but let me just show you how it works. So here's a sticky note. I can type whatever I'd like on the sticky note, and I can switch the color, make it any color I like. And then if I save it, it pops up on the screen. Once it's on the screen or on the slide, you can change the size. You can rotate it. You can move it anywhere around the screen. You can see the 3 dots are there also. I can duplicate it. I can also edit it. So say I didn't want this one to be pink anymore. I wanted it to be green, and I wanted to change the word, so I can edit it. Oops, sorry. Save it, and then you can see it on the screen. Another cool component of the sticky note, so if I pick transparent or none, and I type in a word. So let me type in ENMS and save it. It goes on the screen and it looks just like text. You just can move it around. You can change the size. So that's another cool feature. Okay, I'm going to clear these off so I can go on to the next feature. The next feature in the list is add an image. So there's 4 ways that you can add an image to one of the slides. You can upload it. So if you have something on your screen that you want to upload, you can drop and drag it right in. You can do a Google image search. You can pull a visual from your Google Drive or from your Google Photos. So let me just demonstrate what it would look like on a Google image search. So say I wanted a linear equation. I type it in, I do a search. You can see there's a lot of linear equations. Underneath, you can also do it. There's a drop-down menu by type, so you can choose if you want it just to be a line drawing. You can also choose by color. So say I want it just to be a black and white linear equation. And I could just say I pick this one, and I click select, and it's on my screen. Once that image is there, I can enlarge it. If I choose, I can make it smaller. I can also click off it. I can go back to my pen. Say I wanted to do emphasize one of the equations. I could circle it, and so it is totally interactive. I'm going to go ahead and clear that one off. I'm going to go back to images, and I'm going to pull one from my drive. So say I go to my Google Images. I've already saved these in my drive, and I see an image I want. I select, and it's as simple as that. It's on my screen, hopefully. Again, I can enlarge it. I can add other components, sticky notes, and things like that. And we'll talk about this a little more when we talk about applications. Another cool feature is that you have shapes. So you can add any shape that you like, arrows for emphasis, but let me just use a circle for an example. Say I want to do a quick Venn diagram. So I can make a circle. I can duplicate it. So now I have 2 equal size circles. I need to go up here. I want to make them transparent so that you can write in them, and then you can write in them. You can put post-it notes in it, sticky notes in it, and it's another interactive tool. In addition, you have a text box feature. So you could place a text box, anywhere you like on the screen, and then you can type in it. And it stays there. You can resize it just like you would other graphics on the screen. Another tool that I really like is the last tool, and that's a laser pointer. And I can see that there's a lot of implications for this if you're teaching live. So you can use this to point on anything in the screen, circle it, and then it disappears. So what I just showed you was basic navigation on a Jamboard. I'm going to elaborate a little more on how you could apply this in your content area for synchronous and asynchronous teaching. But let me just show you what multiple slides would look like. So I'm going to go up to the J up here. Takes me back to my home screen, and you can see I just have a practice one that I was playing around with earlier today. So on this particular one, if I open it up, you can see that I have 4 different slides. I have a cell, I have the picture that I showed you in a poem, and then the Venn diagram. So if I was a science teacher, I could have this cell up, and I could shoot it out to students, and we could have them label the different parts of a cell. That's one example. For this, if we were teaching inferencing, we could have students make predictions or infer what was going on in this picture. I could do a poem, and in this particular poem, I used the highlight tool, and I highlighted the word rise, and then we could ask questions like, why did the author choose to use the word rise over and over again? And the students could respond using the sticky notes. And then I showed you the Venn diagram earlier. So thank you for your time. This was just a quick overview of the tools available on Jamboard. And stay tuned for the next version where I'll show you applications for math, social studies, ELA, and science.